Charlie Pellet, thank you so very much. Time now for the Volatility Index Report brought to you by CBOE. Efficiently add small cap exposure to your portfolio or help manage risk with Russell 2000 Index options. Learn more and see disclosures at cboe.com/RUT. Well, we got about a 9% gain in the VIX of 2.38 points to 28.43. But get this. The VIX gained 135% over the past month. That's the most ever. Now we want to...
This is Taking Stock with Kathleen Hayes and Michael McKee on Bloomberg Radio.
Well, we've heard a lot about 3D printing technology, and, sometimes people are printing keychains and cute little things, cute little doodads here and there. But, well, that's just kind of an old vision of where 3D technology is and where it's going, because we're about to speak to someone who is investing in 3D printing for organs in the medical field, a huge step forward potentially. We're very happy to welcome to the show on the T-Mobile phone line, NIN Desai, CEO of NIN Ventures. T-Mobile at work. Switch your business to the uncarrier today. So, Nin, first of all, I would like to have you remind people, give us a little thumbnail sketch of the Jumpstart Our Business Startups Act. I mean, it's been in place now since April of 2012. You launched in 2013, and you were among the first venture capital firms to raise and manage a fund online for accredited investors, thanks to these new rules.
That'll be correct. Thank you very much for having me, first of all, Kathleen and Michael. What happened in 2008 and 2009, we had the recession, and there was a need to invest in disruptive technologies and new companies because old models are not working. However, on the other hand, traditional sources of investments for funds like us, that are pension funds, institutions, and endowments, was drying up. For that very reason, Jobs Act came into existence, which allows funds like ours to go out and crowdfund. Currently, we're open to all accredited investors. An accredited investor is anybody that makes more than $200,000 a year or has a joint income of $300,000 a year. You can make an investment in our fund using digital currency, U.S. dollars, defined benefit plans, even your 401k with a minimum amount of $100,000.
Well, you launched with about $25 million. You invest in Series A and B rounds at the growth stage for financial services, as you say, digital currency, education software, other disruptive technology companies. Just give us a little bit more about your background, Nin. How did you do this? You're founder and CEO. How did you come to this position and starting such an interesting venture?
Well, I had a very traditional route getting here. So I started my professional career at Merrill Lynch. I was with their investment management group. After business school, ended up with Pacific Crest Securities, which is a tech-focused investment banking firm. And then I was there for a couple of years and ended up at Alpha Capital Partners, which is a private equity firm based here out of downtown Chicago. And while I was at Alpha in 2008 and 2009, that's when, we actually started experiencing the recession and saw the investment pool or our sources of funds drying up, and that's when the idea came. And it took a while for the Jobs Act to come into existence. So I would say, I have been thinking about it for quite some time, but it took a while for it to materialize.
So, it's certainly an exciting kind of high-flying thing to do, because when you invest in early stage, I would assume you got to be willing to roll the dice, and you have to look at a lot of potential disruptive technologies, to pick what you think are the good ones. And even then, it's a very risky game, isn't it?
It is, but if you look at the returns, I think, even if you compare U.S. Venture Capital Index to S&P 500, U.S. Venture Capital Index tends to outperform S&P 500 most of the time. And not only that, the returns are huge. And for an investor, I would think, people are used to investing in stocks and bonds, but it's probably a good idea for them to diversify and invest in venture funds. Because, S&P 500 and U.S. venture capital funds have an inverse correlationship. So when your portfolio in stocks and bonds or mutual funds is not doing very well, the chances of, investing in venture funds will, help mitigate the risk that otherwise wouldn't be possible. So a lot of bigger institutions, like I would say, endowment funds, Yale and Harvard, they're all doing it, but on on an average basis, if you look at an average investor, they never had access to venture funds. So this is probably a good opportunity.
Oh,
for them.
it's such an exciting time, and the START Act, just a landmark change. Medical 3D printing. What is it? Why are you interested in it? Why are you investing in it?
Well, if you look at the 3D printing market, there are many sectors. There's manufacturing, there's medical, there is consumer, there is aerospace and defense. However, we as a firm or as a fund has identified that medical will be the first to benefit out of it, just because when you initially come out with a technology, the cost of technology is higher. And as a matter of fact, if you are in 3D printing, if you are in the 3D printing business in the consumer industry, you're probably not going to make return that fast. But medical, given the space it is in, I would say is probably the first to benefit. Within the medical sectors, if you look at I would identify medical into 5 spaces, I would say. There's hearing aid, there's dental, bracing and support, hip and knee replacement, and tissue engineering. While I think the first 4 sectors are highly penetrated with a lot of 3D printers flowing in the market, tissue engineering is still I would say, under-penetrated sector. This is how I would look at it. About 123,000 people on organ recipient list. That list grows on an average of 12% annually. On the other hand, organ donation list grows at 1 to 2%. About 21 people die every day because they can't find organs. Mm-hmm. What if you can print tissues and save certain organs?
Well, this sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? So explain to us what it is. How do you, for crying out loud, 3D print like a liver? It's a squishy and it does all kinds of stuff. It's not like, it's not like a hearing aid. How does this work?
You can't actually print a fully functioning organ, but you can print tissues that can help save an organ. So I'm not sure if many people know, but you can survive with partial liver. And oftentimes when you operate, you're missing certain tissues, and if you can print those tissues and make that liver workable, you're kind of saving a life. So that's how it is. I mean, it's not that we're going to sit here and print organs. That's not possible. Maybe in the next few decades, but currently tissue engineering, so you can print certain parts of the organ or tissues for the organs.
So what can you name any names that you're investing in? Give us an example of a company that you see as potentially one that is going to be able to penetrate and dominate this very key area of medical 3D printing.
Well, it's maybe too early for me to talk about that. Maybe when we make an investment, that's when we'll make that public.
Okay.
But there are universities and, for example, Yale that's doing research on that, and there are companies that are working on biofab printers.
You are also, as you grow your fund and make your investments, you are trying to promote Illinois as a technological place to invest, to create more jobs. What are you doing on that front, and how's it going?
So innovation does not bar geography. As a fund located in Chicago, we're currently promoting Illinois for tech. We as a city have some really good universities, incubators, accelerators, and it's our, as a venture fund, it's our duty to promote local talent and retain them if we can't attract anybody from outside. And that helps our local economy. Having said that, our fund is actively promoting Illinois for tech. Having said that, as a fund, we invest all over the United States. As a fund manager, it's my fiduciary duty to, towards my investors to find the best deals and invest in the best companies possible to generate higher IRR returns. But having said that, like I said, innovation does not bar geography. We are a venture fund that's disrupting our own industry, and we are located out of downtown Chicago, and it can happen anywhere in any industry. And as a fund, it's our duty to encourage entrepreneurs and local talent.
Well, good for you. I'll call you up when I finally have my idea that's worth investing in. I'm still looking for the idea, NIN, to launch my company. We'll see how that...
Happy to. You can always log on to our website, nin.vc, and submit a business plan, and we look at it every week, and if it's of interest, we'll definitely follow up.
All right. Like I said, I just got to get the idea. In fact, email me out there, tweet at me. You guys got an idea for me? We'll see. NIN Desai, CEO, NIN Ventures, based in Chicago, and she joined us today on the T-Mobile phone line. T-Mobile at work. Switch your business to the Un-carrier today. I'm Kathleen Hayes. I thank you for joining me today on Taking Stock on Bloomberg Radio. See you here tomorrow.